I'm so sorry about the technical issues. This is part 2 to staff spinning. Okay. So what we can do is come right here, spin around the back. We go overhead, we spin around the back. And this is our third way to spin behind our back. In the previous video I showed you the first two. What we're doing is a skip catch up top. We come around, we bend, we can skip catch, and then bring it around. If we do it slow, it's a lot harder to skip catch it. And then from there, we can downward strike. So we'll go into a downward strike. We'll stop. We'll bring the staff up, spin. There we go. And this is a great motion to get the body moving. One way that we can do it, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've done that motion. We go with the upward strikes, we stop, bring it out, go into the helicopter, and then behind the back. There we go. And then we can go behind the back traditionally. Bring the staff out, downward strikes. We're going to stop and go over behind the back again. Upward strikes. Here it is. We stop. Bring it out. Helicopter. Behind the back. I've yet to discover a lot of moves that go fluid with this. It's still cool to do. Speaking of that movement, a great basic movement is this. From here, we have one hand underhand, other hand overhand, I believe. Hold on. Yes. One hand overhand, other hand underhand. What we're going to do is we're going to overhead strike and pop it up. From there, pop it up again. Boom, boom. Back in the overhead strike. You catch my drift. Other side now. Boom, boom, bam, bam. And to my teacher, I'm very sorry this is a two-part video. Please watch both parts and approve it. Okay. Alright. This is a meditation final video, by the way. Back to our downward strikes from video 1. We skip catch. And we skip catch, transfer hands again. We're doing forward facing downward strikes. We can skip catch. Go around the back. If we need to, we will do it from the side now. I believe this moves more fluid. Around the back, upward strikes. Skip catch. I believe they call these body rotation, right? Because that's basically what we're doing. We're rotating around the body in a full 360-degree motion. Alright, we got about 7 minutes left. I will run through some motions, or all the motions that we've done so far. Okay, so we have downward striking forward stance into an alternative skip catch. Downward striking forward stance to an alternating skip catch. We have upward striking forward stance to the same hand skip catch. Upward striking forward stance to the same hand skip catch. Now we will do upward strikes, opposite hand skip catch. Upward strikes, opposite hand skip catch. If you remember, or if you saw my first video, I'm less of a fan of this. I believe it moves less fluidly. That's just my opinion on the bow staff. It may be entirely different for you, so try both. You may find you like alternating with the other hand during upward strikes more than I do. Alright, and then we got upward strikes from the side, right? We can face towards the side, or we can face forward. And we'll go overhead, downward strikes, right? Downward strikes. This time we're going to skip catch, forward in front of us into our upward strikes again. We're going to go overhead. You remember our overhead catch? We don't want to rotate it too much during the skip catch, or it will snag on our back shoulder or our forearm. We will stop it right here, and we're going to switch rotation sides, so downward strikes on our dominant hand this time into our skip catch. Upward strikes, non-dominant hand from our side. We can face towards it, or we can face forward. Either way is fine. Overhead catch. Okay. Give me a second to think about what else we have done during this movement meditation. We have also done, yes, our traditional behind the back. Right, so downward strikes. It comes around halfway. Begin to move it behind the back. And while I have you here, the place I got my bow staff was a nifty little website called Kung Fu for Less. And this is not a paid promotional advertisement or anything. Like, believe that's what you call it, but that's just happens to be where I got both my staffs, my 6-foot staff and my 5-foot staff, and I love them both. They're great mental movement objects, great for meditation, very zen. You get the mind in a good spatial awareness zone. I feel like I have a good sense of objects around me when I'm spinning my staff, and really gives me spatial awareness, I believe it's called. We will stop it, spin behind the back, and if you want, you can also just practice spinning behind the back. You know, I remember doing that for some time a while back. Problem is, you're more likely to snag on your elbows doing just that, but that's also the benefit of it, because once you learn how to not snag on the elbows, it won't ever happen when you're doing your staff rotations. But when you're doing your staff rotations, you are also less likely to snag on your elbow, in my opinion, because you're only doing behind the back once in a arc. Okay. Yes, and then we have our butterflies. And starting from an outward stance, we have our skip catch butterflies. So traditional behind the back, skip catch butterflies. So traditional behind the back. I don't think I've shown that one. Go behind the back to a skip catch butterfly, and go behind the back to a skip catch butterfly. And then another method, the one that I did show, was starting from an outward stance, going to a skip catch butterfly, and then around the body, and then a skip catch butterfly, and then around the body. Ooh, where are we at? Okay, I got about a minute left. Say let's stretch it out and end the session. I thank you very much for joining me for my meditation final. I just realized my fly was unzipped. Oh wow. Well, anyway, yes. Thank you very much for joining me for my meditation final. Let's stretch it out. The closer you grab the staff, maybe the more deep the stretch will be. So you want to find a good comfy medium. If you decide to go all the way like that and then bring it back up. Staff can be used to stretch the chest and the shoulders exponentially well, I believe. Anyway, we can bring it out like that, then bring it out like that, pointing backward, get the chest a bit. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, that's the final. So I hope you watched, you learned something neat, and you feel encouraged to join me in your own staff movements meditation.